Welcome to Vator Box, where we rate your pitches. I'm Bambi Francisco, and joining me, as always, is Ezra Royce, an investment banker. And today, our guest host is Diva Hazarika, and I've known Diva for a while, founder of Moai way back when, during the bubble years, and now founder and CEO of Clear Context, which is an email and project management tool company. So today we're going to look at two companies, one very related to what you do, which is Smartsheet, and another one called Zilok, which is a peer-to-peer rental company. So with that, let's start with Zilok.
Hi, I'm Jeff Boudier. I run Zilok.com. It's the online rental marketplace. That's where anyone can offer anything for rent to the community. And by anything, we mean your video game system. It could be your snowboard, your fancy purse, parking spot, your scooter, your bike, anything. There's just so many things that we have and we don't use all the time. And these are the exact same things that people in your neighborhood are going to need. So Zilok provides you the tools so that these people connect and can actually rent things from one another. Our mission statement is to support and develop peer-to-peer renting as a new sustainable and community-driven way of consuming.
So did he say friends' slippers?
Sure. I don't know.
Did he just say that you could rent friends' slippers? I don't know. Okay. Simon Cowell, Simon and Kyle, what do you think?
Well, if people need a place to put ads and they don't know about Craigslist, it seems like this might be the place. But I think, end of the day, I don't think there's a marketplace with enough liquidity for people looking to rent stuff from random people and other people looking to put that stuff out there all within a community. So it becomes...
It needs to be big. You have a geography component because you got to get it there. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to borrow my friend's slippers, I need to be relatively close to that friend and have reasonably good faith they don't have athlete's foot. I need to determine the appropriate payment. So I think there is, but I think outside of that, there is liability questions. I mean, if I am renting somebody, I don't know what the issues are there, but my guess is it's not trivial. If I rent somebody my fire escape ladder for 3 months during fire season, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work or whatever, and
Well, I'm sure they don't have the liability.
Well, I don't know who does, but someone's got to.
Right. But beyond that, is there utility there? I mean, I was looking around the site, and I have to say I don't understand the renting of the iPod. The number one, I actually did interview Jeff Boudier, and the number one item that is being rented is a digital camera, which is beyond me why anyone would want to rent a digital camera when you can own it. But for me,
it could lead to some very embarrassing content ending up on the internet from the renter, but or rentee, either way. But I think it's got to be something that's expensive.
Yep.
So it's got to be something that's probably, big, something that's only really time limited. So I can see there's certain things which are very, very time limited.
So I think that's your paradox right there. Ezra, is the things that it works for are either things that are really cheap and plentiful and abundant, which people don't really need to rent. They can go buy it or find it online.
Right.
Or, so those don't really work. Or there are things that are really expensive and not all that abundant. So when you've got something that's scarce like that and expensive, you've got the trust issues. You've got, do I trust you that this is going to work out? Do I trust you to just take this, this expensive product and rent it from me? And how many of them are there? So think about, for expensive stuff, how many different geographies I've got to cover to make it actually make a match happen.
The probability of getting my deluxe chrome pencil sharpener match with someone who needs that thing here potentially is pretty. Pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Bambi was just looking for a mechanical bull, and she couldn't find one in San Francisco.
I couldn't find one on Craigslist, but I did find one on this site, and I actually think for $1,500 a day I could rent that mechanical bull, and that actually is useful, I'm sure, to some people. But there's the point here is that this is what the company sort of evolves into. I mean, we saw eBay where it was started all with collectibles and peer-to-peer, selling of your little tchotchkes, your Pez dispensers, and then they moved into being sort of liquidators, and they moved into the power sellers. So here they're going to go.
This is a marketplace for people who rent stuff.
To rent. I mean, you move into sell tuxedos, party gifts, construction, stuff,
equipment.
Big stuff. Yeah. So you move into the $85 billion rental.
Yeah, but I think for those things, it feels like, is it easier for these guys to move into that, or is it easier for an eBay or a Craigslist or whoever's already got a big community of buyers and sellers to say, hey, we're going to do renters as well? I think that's a big problem for me.
Yeah. So I think, and I don't know if the peer-to-peer part. I don't know. I have to see how the peer-to-peer makes a huge difference. I think it's just sort of, can you basically create a place where people can market their for rent services? Individuals renting their large, expensive. Yeah, renting their socks. The other problem is in the stuff that's in your garage. I mean, I might rent things just to save me from going into the garage if I find it. But the reality is there's most people have more crap than they possibly know what to do with. So the idea of now going on a site to find more, unless it's incredibly peculiar and has a very, very specific need, I think it's tough.
I think it should be fun just to check out what people have to rent.
Maybe like a Christmas decoration exchange, where you could basically take your floating snowman and exchange it 1 year for the year which head goes up and down, and you can exchange that around.
That would be good.
Then you can rotate, because you have you're basically leveraging that 25% of your garage which holds the snowman, and next year you could have the tree, and then you could move it around. I think there's peer-to-peer Christmas decoration. Peer-to-peer Christmas,
and they'll just rent from each other. They'll just rent from each other.
Can we scratch that from the tape? That's brilliant.
Okay. All right. Next, Smartsheet. Diva, you're going to have a lot to say about this one. Let's check out this company. It is a sort of collaboration tool, email tool. Let's check it out.
There have been a few things that have come out recently, Google Sites and Microsoft Workspace, which satisfy different things. One is sort of more of a wiki play, and the other one is more get your docs up in the cloud, the bucket of docs concept, my Word docs, my SharePoint docs, etc. But what is the sheet? The Smart Sheet itself lets you track what those pieces are. If it's just a bunch of docs sitting around, do we know how those exist? What are the steps of actually getting our project done or getting our marketing event organized? How do we know what's next?
Okay, so Diva, I mean, your product is basically an email management tool, sort of somewhat similar, sort of addressing the same problem.
Yeah, we're similar in that we're helping people manage large volumes of information. In our case, it's information coming over email, so it's sort of unstructured. And what we do is we take, with clear context, we take the email information, help figure out what all the relationships are between all that data. So it's purely unstructured information. Now, the other end of the spectrum of where people are trying to manage projects and stuff are things like Salesforce, where people are creating an account, creating a Salesforce account for each of their prospects, clients, whatever, and actually creating a project center for everything. So that's the sort of
Is that what they're doing?
Well, those are the sort of two ends of the spectrum. What these guys are doing is, I guess, sort of online power collaborative wiki Excel.
It's a Wiki-sheet.
So there you go. The brand new category, an entire category of Wiki-sheets.
Yeah.
I think I was sort of conflicted about this because it's absolutely, this is a problem people have. Is Excel's not really well suited for doing complicated data analysis and stuff. It's a good place to create a spreadsheet of a list of stuff and maybe order them and sort them, but it's not really this database. And then you've got then you've got something like a Salesforce, which lets you really drill down into your into each of your customers and prospects and find all the information. These guys kind of sit in the middle.
Right.
I think that's tough. Is what are those situations where people are going to try and do sophisticated things with a spreadsheet, share it with people, but not need a specialized application.
Every new enterprise product demo VC pitch starts with, there's all these people out there that have spreadsheets, and they're tracking this and that and the other thing in their spreadsheets, and we've created a product which is going to take all that data out of all these spreadsheets, put it in an enterprise system, and manage it and track it, blah, blah, blah. And I think that is useful and interesting, and many of those products are are good. Project management products, collaboration products, sales CRM products, but they are, most of those actually turn into pretty specific workflows with pretty specific features and functions for doing like very clear things. And the trick is if you stay close to a more general Excel type product, people will probably just stick with Excel. And so if you don't, I actually like it because I think it's interesting, and I think there are lots of improvements you can make to what people sort of use Excel for, which is kind of the miscellaneous tracking of things.
Would you pay for that?
Well, I think the question is, probably not. Then the third dimension is you have Google coming in, Google Docs, which wants to be the Wiki-sheets.
I think if you were to look at the best description of what Google is trying to do with their entire enterprise strategy, I think you could sum it up as put Microsoft Office online for free.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at something like this, who basically their pitch is put Microsoft Excel online, sounds really, really familiar.
So I think good enough for Google to notice them and then get snapped up.
It'd be great. I think it'd be great. I think that my biggest fear, if I were them, would be that there's a Google product manager looking at their product right now going, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
Google bought a company, I think, Rightly, which did the Word
part
online. So I don't know where they are on the spreadsheets. But
all right, so there's hope. It evolves into a Google
acquisition, or whoever the new Google is that we'll figure out later.
So I think it could be a sort of evolve, devolve type thing where if it evolves the feature set and they've got more stuff than Google has in their offering, maybe there's a path there, or devolve down into some find out which things people are actually using and then turn into these specialized little applications to manage some specific type of.
Yeah, I think if they devolve into like an online e-project, Microsoft project kind of project management tool.
All right, so two different companies we looked at, Zilok and Smartsheet, but which one would you bet on?
I think Smartsheet definitely has opportunities to turn into something that's really solid.
There's a utility there, so anyway, okay, great, Diva, thank you so much. Thanks for being our Simon Cowell this week. Ezra, thank you as always, and again, please post your comments. We're not experts. Maybe Diva is an expert in this field, but we definitely look forward to your opinions and your commentary. We'll see you next time on Vator TV.